morning team, big shout out to all those other puppies in lockdown out there. Hope everyone's holding down okay. I'm going to talk to you today about mouthing. This is probably one of the biggest issues that puppy owners face, or one of the most difficult issues that we see reported, and Akira certainly is one of those puppies. So I'm going to be talking you through some of the reasons why puppies mouth, and hopefully demonstrating a little bit of what to do as and when your puppy does mouth. So the good news about mouthing is it's a developmental stage, so it's something that's only going to happen for a period of time. So most of the time for puppies it'll be roughly between 3 and 5 months old, depending on the puppy. So that's the good news. But what that also means is that there's no way for us to avoid it. We can't prevent it, we have to go through it. Puppies are going to use their mouths to explore and investigate the world, just like Akira's doing. If she comes across something new, it's normally going in her mouth. And it's really important that through that exploration and through their using their mouths and seeing where that gets them, that they understand how their mouths work and how hard to use their mouth in certain situations. Also bear in mind that just like children, puppies experience teething pain. This can be really uncomfortable and absolutely lead to more mouthing, or potentially that really hard kind of chewing at the back of their mouths to try and ease some of that discomfort. One of the best places to start with mouthing is mentally preparing yourself that it's gonna happen. Reassuring yourself that it's completely normal, it's something that all puppies go through, and therefore something that all puppy owners go through as well. So I'm a behaviourist, I foster quite a lot of dogs, adult dogs and small dogs, and even with Akira's mouthing, it really hurts. So I think that sort of acceptance that that is something that we're going to experience, that we've kind of got to work together, be proactive and respond when she is mouthing appropriately, and sort of hold on tight until this stage of development has passed. But just like us, when our needs aren't fully met, things that are already a little bit difficult for us can become more so. We can perhaps become a little bit agitated, and that's exactly the same with puppies. So one of the main things is sleep. Most of the puppies that we see probably aren't getting enough sleep, because what puppy wants to sleep? They want to be out, up and exploring and playing and getting involved with everything, especially if you've got a house with several people. Your puppy's going to be up and down a lot of the time, so always keep an eye on how much your puppy is sleeping. Make sure your puppy has regular meals, so that's the general recommendation anyway. But again, if your puppy is hungry, or doesn't eat and then has a really big meal, they can become a little bit agitated, and perhaps that will contribute to mouthing as well. Generally making sure that they've been mentally and physically satisfied, so that they've had their walks, if they're able to go on walks, that you've played with them appropriately, and perhaps done a little bit of training as well, so we know that they've not got excess energy that's going to come out through their mouths. At this age, when your puppies are going to be really interested in things that move, things that dangle, tassels, toggles, dressing gown cords, slippers, that sort of thing, it's going to be quite hard actually to manage them. As you'll see, Akira has even been pulling my hair at points, so maybe try and keep them away from those sort of items just in the short term. This is probably a familiar sight to some of you. Got lots of scratches, lots of teeth marks and a few bits of broken skin. So we're just going to keep Akira nice and entertained, use her energy, use her mouth more appropriately, and then I think it's probably time for a bit of a rest. Right now Akira's mouthing for the reasons we talked about earlier. So once she's past this age, past this stage, there's not necessarily a root cause for her to mouth, but if she learns at this time that mouthing maybe gets her attention, or it gets a reaction, even if that's a negative reaction, then she might still continue mouthing past the stage that she actually needs to. So I want to make sure that she gets very little out of mouthing. So I kept my one hand still and then used my other hand to animate the toy. So take care not to make sort of loud noises. Good girl. And sort of if you say ouch or try and pull away, or if you move your hand away very quickly, that's much more likely, as you can see, to just incite her her reaction to chase and grab your hand. So you can keep your one hand quite still
I know it is sore, puppy teeth really hurt, and then you can use your other hand to get her engaged in a toy. Don't make it too hard for her, good girl. We want her to actually catch it, so if you keep getting her to chase it, she'll probably get bored and go for something like a knee or a calf that she can actually reach. So this is a, yeah, we want to make it fun and engaging, but not too hard for her that she gets frustrated. Good girl, well done.
Make sure that around your house you've got different toys in different rooms so they're always to hand should you need them. So we've got big things, big soft things for her to grab onto and squeeze, and then we've got things that are designed for puppies, so certain densities. We've got teething chews as well, teething toys. So make sure you've got a range, sort of things to rag, things to bite, put her whole mouth round, and things to chew on as well. So whatever it is that they might be needing, they're going to be able to satisfy that with what you've got in that room.
A couple of other good things to try would be perhaps keeping a note of when and where your puppy is mouthing. So you can build in a nap or enrichment or training at those times when she might be more likely to mouth. Good girl, well done.
So never tell your puppy off for mouthing. We wouldn't suggest this for any undesirable behaviours, and neither for mouthing either. So mouthing can be so frustrating. You know, firsthand, I know what it's like to try to be working and keeping a puppy entertained and remember all of the different things that we're talking about, and ultimately mouthing hurts. So the last thing you want is, when you just want to sit down and chill out, is pain, you know, and something that might be quite irritating for you, but that's not going to help anything. Very often it will lead to other issues, like your puppy not trusting you, not being confident, not wanting to approach you, or it may even make the behaviour worse. So dogs that sort of, when there's a lot of noise going on, a lot of commotion, it might actually add energy to the situation and encourage that mouthing behaviour. So definitely don't be telling your puppies off for mouthing.